Oh, here we go. Okay. All right, guys. We're about to start this thing off. It's 5:57 with early birds in here. What's up, man?
Hey man, is it working?
Yeah, we're good. I think we're on. How you
All right.
doing?
Good man, how are you?
Nice. Good, good. Just chilling right now at the gallery. Got a little Banksy visuals playing behind us.
Cool.
Yes, sir. So how's everything going today, bro? How's everything in your world?
Going well, just making toys, trying to kind of play catch up, which is what I'm always doing, trying to catch up on orders.
I hear that, bro. Same here, man. It's been a process getting everything here together, but we're coming closer. I think we're getting closer to an opening now. So, you know
For
what I mean?
sure.
We're going to get everything on display to the public, show people art, show people what, I know and the Naturals Collective knows if it comes to glass, vinyls, kind of anything like that. And
Yeah,
that's
man.
why
It was looking
that's why
great.
we wanted, oh, of course. And that's why I wanted to get your stuff in here.
Yeah, definitely. When do you have a date you're looking at yet?
Date for opening, I'd say maybe in like 3 weeks or something like that.
Okay.
I'm aiming. All right, here you're hearing it on live first. Aiming for like the 27th, 28th, 29th weekend. But we're just trying to push to make that happen. If not, we promise early August we're gonna have that first soft opening party. It'll be good. Everybody's invited. Be
Cool.
nice. Looks like we got some people in here, so we can start up, bro.
Yeah.
As long as it's cool with you. So, yep. The first question. I don't know if anybody else knows this. Just wanted to ask where are you from?
Oh, I'm from Charleston, South Carolina. Right now I live in Columbia though, about an hour and a half away.
Oh, that's funny. I didn't even know that. One of my good friends lives down there. Actually, he like manages like a big property complex out in Charleston. That's crazy.
Oh, really? Yeah, yeah. There's a lot of people moving there. It's like growing pretty fast.
I drove down. It was like a 14-hour drive
Yeah.
down there with him, and then I flew back and I stayed out there for a little bit. We went out to like the what's that like the section with all the brick downtown with all the bars, and there's like that big pineapple fountain, like the pineapple looking fountain and everything.
That's kind of near the Battery and Waterfront Park and stuff.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Vendu, right? It's called like Vendu or something.
Yeah, Vindu Range, I think, might be the name of that area. Yeah,
Cool,
it's starting to
cool.
come back.
Nice. Oh, so it's been a little bit.
Yeah, like I mean, I go there a lot, but I don't really like go around town like I used to because,
Yeah, yeah, of
especially
course.
the plague, happened. So I'm kind of a shut-in.
Yeah, of course, of course. So, all right, cool. No, I actually never knew that. That's good to know. So another question we're gonna ask you: had you always been into art, or did you just start off making like with the bootlegs, kind of getting into it?
Oh no, I've always been into art. I've been drawing since I was like very little. I would draw like Ninja Turtles and He-Man and stuff, and then eventually I started doing the toys like really not really until about like the end of 2017 I started doing this, but I was always drawing and stuff like that.
Cool, cool. So you're always like following art, collecting yourself and stuff, like collecting art yourself and everything. Hey, can you turn it down?
Yeah, it's action figures. I've been collecting toys. I just never grew out of them really. Like I stopped playing with them and then I got rid of them and then I'd start to buy them again and I've been collecting that and then comic books and um I try to do more actual art collecting now, but I still need to like, get more real art I think as well. But I've been picking up some bootlegs here and there.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. So you collect other people's bootlegs and
Yeah, yeah.
nice. Do you have? Well, actually, I think that was one of the questions. So we'll keep it rolling. All right. Cool though. All right. So, and do you currently draw? Like, do you have drawings available, or like, you know what I mean, things like that?
I draw, but like um I don't really sell just drawings, but I do sometimes do hand drawn card backs for the figures. But I might end up doing some like actual print at some point.
Okay. Okay. Or like maybe like some limited, like super small sketches that. Well,
Oh, that'd be
dang, I was
great.
gonna say they come inside the bubbles, but then you can't really open them.
Yeah. Well, that's a good idea though. Like maybe there's some way to, if there was some way to incorporate it.
Make it a
Sometimes,
functional.
yeah, like resealable bubbles can be done as well. So yeah, that's a good
Uh,
idea.
I'll throw you some ideas. I got an idea. I just had a funny idea.
Okay.
Okay. And then so next we're gonna move on. Like, what is it? Can you remember the first bootleg you ever made, and why did you make it?
Um, Well, bootleg, like I made a custom figure, like a bootleg I would usually say is like a poured resin mold. That one, I guess I'd made some custom figures here and there, but the first bootleg I actually tried was and sold was probably a Darth Vader. Like I did like the Anakin, the Darth Vader without the mask, but like all the ones that exist are fairly new. So I did one based on the using the old Anakin Skywalker figure from the '80s and kind
Okay.
of cast that, and it was just an old Darth Vader toy, but with like a resin cast head, so you could take off his helmet and stuff.
That's
That's
that's good. You
fun.
can take the
Yeah,
helmet off.
yeah, those figures exist, but like I wanted it to look like the old ones instead of the newer stuff. So
Yeah, when I was a kid, I used to like because I collected some of the like Todd McFarlane. Right, remember he did the Spawn stuff and all that crazy, like the highly like surrealistic, detailed stuff. And I
yeah,
loved when they were functional. I love when they came with clothes or bags and it was like actual material. So
yeah,
cool.
yeah, that's always
Uh,
cool.
yeah. It just makes it that much. You know what I mean? And that's why your work has really clean line work and separation on like the the different like parts like like neck to clothing or something like that. So like that, I can
Yeah,
appreciate that for sure.
yeah.
True. So that's cool. And then, so you just kind of wanted it to be like the original, more of that original vibe.
What's that?
Like you wanted that character to be like not one of the newer things that are coming out, but more of like a vintage vibe.
Yeah, well, anything Star Wars that I do, it's always based on the '70s and '80s figures. So I wanted to kind of keep with that, and it was just an experiment to see if I could do it because it's a hard process to learn the molding, and I wasn't good at it for a long time. So that was the first one, and I got a few good pulls out of it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so did you do more than one, or was that like a one-off?
No, I did a few of them, but it was like a lot of trial and error. Like that was before I had a pressure pop, which is what takes all the air bubbles out of the resin. So if you pour a resin mold without using a vacuum chamber or a pressure pot, the resin itself comes in two parts, and it creates a chemical reaction that causes a lot of air bubbles. So if you don't have a pressure chamber, then those air bubbles can like ruin the sculpt. Like the tip of the figure's nose might have an air bubble, so he just doesn't have a nose, something like that.
I've
Will happen.
seen that happen actually, where like maybe the ears, like a chunk is missing or something.
Yeah, yeah. And it's
So
still
is that part of the skill, or is that just luck? Like being able to like time it and know when it's gonna be like perfect, or
it's the pressure pot helps with that, but it's still kind of luck sometimes. Like I've been doing this for years now, and every once in a while, I'll still have like a big air bubble that ruins something. Like maybe if you don't do it fast enough, like because you only have like with the resin I use, you have like 2 minutes to mix it and pour it, and if it starts to cure, it might end up with an air bubble. So that sucks because then you got to redo the whole thing. Sometimes, most of the time, you got to redo it.
oh wow. If anybody out there is making resin toys or resin figures, listen up, man. That's some good, you know what I mean? Get a pen.
I had to beg people to tell me all this stuff. Yeah.
Cool. Okay, I like that, man. Because like with photography, I love giving lessons if I can, or helping people, give them some advice that can stick with them. Because you're right, some people have told me stuff that I literally have not forgot since the moment they said it. Just because
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
like advice that literally stepped the game up. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh yeah, definitely. There was a lot of people who were really nice about that. Scott Cherry, Barbarian Rage, was like a big help to me. He sat there and listened to me ask questions and was willing to give me a lot of tips and stuff. So
that's
without
cool.
that, you're kind of in the dark, and it's a lot of trial and error. And it still is, but when
Would you say
someone,
it's expensive trial and error? Like, can it get expensive?
yeah, because the first few molds I made were, you know, I was told to where to get the resin online and stuff, and I would use like, or well, for the silicone for the molds, I ended up buying this kind that just was really hard to work with, and I ended up calling the company, and they were like, yeah, you have to bake that after you make the mold, or it'll like it can get like moisture in it. So I wasted like probably at least $60 on those molds, and finally through people telling me stuff, I ended up finding the right stuff. But it can be expensive if you it was like a $30. I used at least two $30 sample packs of silicone, and didn't get much out of them, so it can get expensive.
Wow. See, hey, more
Yeah.
notes, everybody. More notes. That's cool. All
Yeah.
right. Oh, here's one. Since it was shared earlier, how did you end up making that Eric Andre toy? And did he say thank you?
Oh yeah. I made it just for fun. Well, I kind of wanted to sell them, but I made like it was originally was Eric Andre and Hannibal Buress, like that famous meme where he shoots Hannibal, and I made both.
Oh, that's the classic one, dude.
Yeah,
Where
now
he's like shooting him with the chair.
yeah, exactly. And so I had Hannibal like in the chair, but I a guy reached out to me who knew Eric Andre. He was like a friend of a friend, and he was like, "I can probably get this into his hands if you make one." I was like, "Yeah, I mean, I'll just make." It was just Eric and the single pack, but I was like, "I'll send that his way just on the off chance he likes it and post it."
That's dope.
Posted it. Yeah, it was pretty cool. I talked to him actually on Messenger for like a hot minute. I was like, "Thanks for posting that. That's really cool." And he was a nice dude, but I mean, just for like a few minutes, I talked to him. It was pretty neat.
Bro, that's really awesome, man. That's fucking sick.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Like sometimes doing what you love can bring you in front of people that you're like, what? Like how? That's so crazy.
Yeah,
But
he's a comedic genius, so I really like his stuff. And just knowing that he's got that little toy probably somewhere in his house on the wall is really cool to me.
see, man, that's really. I love with the skit when he does like he's the knight or when he's like in the shining armor. I love
I
the
don't
song.
really, I don't know if I've seen that. I've seen
That dude,
a lot of crazy stuff.
he's crazy. Yeah, and so he was happy about it. Like, did he say anything? Did he like?
He posted the picture and then he tagged me in a like a story on Instagram. So I messaged him and I was like, "Thanks, man." And he was like, "No, dude, this is awesome." And like I don't remember much of the conversation, but I was just like, "Yeah, that's really cool that you posted that. I appreciate it." And he was like, "Yeah, just be." He was very nice about it and gave me some compliments, so that was cool.
Yeah, super dope, man. Super dope.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, okay, do you? This is kind of like you already kind of said this, but do you have any inspirations or like any artists that you look up to or like that you're thankful for things? Or
Oh yeah, well, Scott Barbarian underscore Rage is definitely a dude who like has just been a really good resource for like someone. If I have a question, he's been nice about that. Don't bother him with questions, but he I mean he seems pretty cool about helping people with that, and that was really nice. And I love his work. He makes really cool stuff. Um, then of course the Suck Lord is one that like everyone doing bootlegs knows about him, and he started the whole thing. And I really was like drawn into it by his work. Like I just saw what he was doing and thought it was really cool because I'd always known of custom action figures since like you know early '90s, but what he was doing with it was like a whole new thing. And I just was as soon as I saw it, I was like, I'm gonna start making these at some point, like soon, and I just jumped into it.
that's dope. That's dope. So
Yeah.
you kind of knew, like you saw one and you pretty much just knew like that's what I want to do, or like not what I want, but like that's like I want to create that. And I want to offer that to the world and with my vision, basically, right?
Yeah, because it's like I've always loved toys so much, and I consider them art. So like seeing people out there turning them into art, which is it's like what they are, but presenting them as art is a new. I think it's a pretty new thing. So I really wanted to be involved with that in some way.
Nice, that's so dope. I like that whole tap in of the pop culture and like the not only nostalgic but things that we just saw last year, like the Squid Game piece, dude. That thing is
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah,
I mean, it was such a like a hype wave, and then it like was here, and then it's like back up here now. It's just like something that people won't forget. It was like one of those staples around this time that like one
yeah,
of those weird Netflix things that everybody saw for some reason, like
yeah.
Tiger King. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I actually didn't watch it. I just made the thing as a joke, but it is definitely one of those things. Like, and that's cool when an action figure or like the things I make capture like a little weird capsule of a time. It's like a
That's
time
what I like.
or whatever.
No, that's what I like because it's going to be something that in the future, some people will be like, wow, that's like a historic show. And that was like such a staple. And some people will not even have heard of it because, I mean, like just whatever. But it's
Yeah,
so funny. Like, I don't know. Just, I like, especially with your stuff, the way that you just like find, I feel like almost like the perfect things to make bootlegs of. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, I could say that a lot of these pieces from you that I've seen personally, it's like, wow, I couldn't picture that not being a bootleg. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, that's definitely the goal. It's like most of it is I don't know if I'll say most of it, but like the concept is the most important thing. Like if it's something that I think of and I'm like, people will like this, if I think they're gonna laugh at it or like it, I think you're halfway there, and then you just make something cool looking to go around that, basically.
Cool, cool. All right. All right. That makes sense, bro. And yeah, Suckload, especially too. A while ago, I saw one of the Gay Empire pieces and like just stuck with me. The different, like the. I mean, I hadn't seen any of that stuff at that point. This is like 2010,
Yeah,
but it stuck with me, the fact that it was like so different, so unique. Like the fact that it was an action figure that you wouldn't open. It kind of reminded me about people collect like Star Wars things or like Funko Pops that they don't open, action figures like that. Because I've definitely seen some like real Star Wars like action figures. You know what I mean? The old ones that are like hundreds of thousands of dollars
yeah. Some of that gets crazy.
from the 80s and stuff, but just cool. I mean, that's a whole nother like vibe. That's a whole nother collector's wave and everything. And a
Oh
few,
yeah,
a few like figure bootleg artists have told me that like some of those collectors would even like frown upon the bootleg, but not like frown upon, but you know what I mean? Like, because they're over there spending like money on like what they would consider like the real official one, and then you have like the ones that are like making play like renditions on them and stuff, which I love because I like the personally like the like offensive jokes and stuff like that. I mean, I think some of that's funny sometimes. There's a place for it.
yeah,
Like the
definitely.
world wouldn't be the world if there wasn't people getting offended.
Yeah, no, I kind of agree with that. I mean, not like there's limits, but I think it needs to be a little bit.
Not ignorant, like not ignorant offenses,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like just things that are edgy and like things that are some people's cup of tea, and then some people like that don't like that stuff. I mean, you're gonna get that no matter what. So it's
yeah,
better to get it in the form of humor than like ignorance or like meanness or something.
yeah, yeah. Dollar Slice is on here. He just said those people think vanilla is spicy, so I guess the people that get offended that easily.
Yes, dude, that's amazing. That's
Yeah,
true, man. Yeah, that's the people that think like putting a little bit of salt makes it really hot.
yeah, totally. There's
Oh,
too
I
much.
like that. Monday the 16th, framed and hung in my company's office. Everyone loves it. Such a good piece. It is
Oh,
amazing. Monday
yeah,
the 16th. That's what I'm talking about. Like ideas like that are something that I would never think of. But at the same time, it's like, dude, that is like so obvious and perfect and just like what comes after the weekend. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
props on that one, bro. Props on that one.
Thanks. Yeah, I think that's one of my favorites that I've done idea wise, just because it's so silly and like, what if Jason went to work at a corporate office? Like just something unexpected that makes you laugh. That's always good.
Well, and you're like not even that, but I'm pretty sure on the package, like the positioning, like the kind of like over like stressed out look. It's like, man,
Yeah,
I've been killing people all weekend,
yeah,
getting drunk, and now I'm here.
yeah. That needs. I keep meaning to turn that into like I need Saturday the 14th. Like Jason goes to the club. That's when I mean to do. Sunday maybe.
Yo,
Sunday he's hungover, so there'll be a couple more of those. And
that's
then Monday's
amazing,
work.
dude.
Yeah. You must always bleed every concept dry. Now, not really, but I like to do that sometimes. Just like if there's something there, I like to get it out of it.
Dude, beautiful, beautiful. Okay, hang on. What did I just ask? Okay, that. Yeah, but yeah, I think myself and a lot of other people would like to see those other two renditions because Jason goes to the club
Yeah,
Saturday, the 14th.
yeah.
That'd be
Picture,
bad funny.
I'm picturing him with like open shirt with a medallion, like big '70s collar.
Have
I
him have a
think,
pinky ring,
yeah, yeah,
a little gold one. All
yeah.
right. Actually, wow, perfect. Do you have any new things, ideas, or projects people should watch for?
Oh, well, I've got the Baron Bloodstar, which is like a character I created, which is he's sort of like a Darth Vader knockoff homage, sort of inspired by Phantom Star Killer, which is another Killer Bootlegs, like his big character. Um, but I'm trying to take it in like I don't really know what direction I'm going to take it in yet, but it's an original like Vader-esque kind of thing I did. But I'm going to do a run of that at San Diego Comic-Con with DKE Toys. So there'll be a limited edition run of that. So eventually I'd like to turn that into a comic book or something. And I don't know if it'll be like serious or kind of like tongue in cheek or not, but I want to do something with it.
That's
So,
pretty sick, dude.
yeah, that's the
That's
goal.
sick.
Start doing more of that. So, but it's harder because people don't respond as much to things that are original. I mean, that's why it's like it's sort of an homage to the Darth Vader knockoffs from the 80s, because in the 80s there was every toy company, like little fly-by-night toy company, was making a knockoff Star Wars thing. So it's
Oh, so is that kind of
like
so there was
starting point.
actual like bootlegs that were trying to be like real Star Wars things?
Well, kind of, there'd be like, I can't remember what they were called, but there was something like if you Google like Darth Vader bootleg, they would call him like Dark Vader or something like that. And it's sort of like, in my opinion, more of an homage to that, but that's going to be a starting point. And hopefully I can think of like I'm trying to develop like a cool story to go around it.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah. So
Okay, that'd be cool. There's like a little company out here that does like some like weed themed comic books, and they made one that I like. It's called The Toking Dead.
yeah,
It's like
that's
The
awesome.
Walking Dead, but it's The Toking Dead. They have a few series out of it. It's pretty cool. It's not anything like crazy, but I think if you like look it up, you can find it. It's pretty cool. And they're out of Massachusetts, so it's like I've seen them at a few conventions. I met them once at this thing called the Harvest Cup out here in Worcester, Mass, and they had I don't know if anybody knows or if you know this guy named Bill Diamond. He worked with the dude. Who's that guy that does all those crazy like he designed like the Skeksis, I think, in the Dark Crystal. And like some of those like the big beetles in the Dark Crystal, remember those things? Like he designed like those. Who's the other guy that does all that? Like the character, the Muppet, like not Muppets, but like
Jim Henson. Or,
yes, he worked
yeah.
with Jim Henson.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
That's awesome.
And then he helped them make like a short either show series or movie of the Talking Dead, which I haven't seen. I don't know if it's out
Really?
yet, but yep.
Well, that's awesome.
But that
No,
aside, yeah, it seemed cool.
yeah, writing it down.
Tim
Tim
Clark.
Clark. Dollar Slice says Tim Clark.
Who's that?
A Dollar Slice bootlegs. He's one of the like OG bootleg dudes.
No. Who's Tim Clark?
Oh, he's the guy I think you're talking about. He says Tim Clark of Boglin's fame. He must have made like the 80s like little fucking dudes.
Oh shit. Okay. Thank you guys. I love it. Always education on here. Good.
Yeah.
All right.
The dude we're talking about. What?
Oh yeah. Bill. Yeah, I think his name was Bill Diamond, the one that I met. He was like the dude, but maybe I could be wrong. I could be like mixing up what he designed exactly. But he was like working on Dark Crystal. He worked with Jim Henson. He was helping them with the I don't know. You should like, Google him. I forget exactly what his works were, but he was helping them with that Talking Dead series and everything.
Okay.
And you don't have to answer this if it's like secret or something, but would you say your figure process is different than other people's? Like, I don't know if you know it, like if there's different processes to making them, you know?
No, I don't think it's much different. It's kind of like the way I learned it and what I think most everyone does. It's called like a kit bash. I got one I'm kind of holding in my hand for no reason. So this is
Joe
like,
Biden?
No, this is supposed to be Frank Drebin from the Naked Gun, but it's like, well, this one doesn't have a lot of sculpting, but this is like what I usually do. You start with an action figure that exists, which is like this suit, and then the head is from, I can't remember, but you'll Dremel off the hair and like sculpt your own hair with clay, let it dry, then you make the mold of it, then you pour the resin. So that's kind of what most everyone does. Start with a kit.
Oh, that's dope.
Or you sculpt, but that's obviously a lot harder. And then I'm trying to learn digital sculpting, but I barely scratched the surface. So eventually I'll start doing 3D printing, even though I kind of don't want to do that. I feel like it's like, it might come in.
Yeah, it might help with some stuff, but I feel like, you know,
Yeah.
in my opinion, and this is just my opinion, I have nothing against it. I like a lot of 3D print that I've seen, like 3D printed things that I've seen, not even in the bootleg world, but like in just whatever. But I kind of think it makes it more like a proto thing, like a production work, or like not original. I would never call anything, and this isn't hate, I'm just thinking in my mind as a collector, I don't think I'd call anything 3D printed like unoriginal. You know what I mean? Even if it just because like it's different.
Yeah, I mean, if you hand paint it and stuff, it helps, but it is something that like I do prefer like down and dirty, like sculpt it, make it with your hands. That's what I want to do. For 3D printing, it'll be more like probably like bits and pieces, or maybe even just the initial design. Like I do want to do better likenesses sometimes, but that's not really the point. Like the point of this is not that it looks just like the actor, because
Thought it was
that's
fucking
old
Joe
choice.
Biden.
Yeah, it kind of looks like Joe Biden, and that's fine. But like the old Luke Skywalker figures did not look like Mark Hamill at all. It was like not even close, you know.
Oh
So,
yeah, like when they look so messed up. Like I've seen
yeah,
that for sure.
it
Yo,
just
did
looked
you
like a
see
little.
what Glassy Matt said up there? He said you got to do a pinky in the brain, make the COVID stain, or make the COVID strain.
Oh my god, that's a good idea.
That is kind of funny.
I think Super Seven's now doing Pinky in the Brain
Yo.
production. Shut up,
Okay.
Bert Branson. Yeah, he said he agrees. Way cooler molded figure. I agree with that. I mean, I'm gonna probably do some 3D printing, but it might just end up being like the original prototype will be 3D printed. Then I'll go to the mold making because that's really what
Well, I mean, dude, if you got to do 3D printing to get something done, it's not, you know what I mean? It's still dope. It's still funny. It's still there. But just like I think if somebody was going to try to do something super high end or something, you know what I mean? Like, I'd be like, bro, like, you know? But, all right, cool. So pretty much like similar process that a lot of people use, or like it might be like kind of like I've heard of a few different like people doing different like ways, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's cool. That's all part of the art. What's the best way for people not to miss your releases?
Oh, well, the best thing ever is if someone really likes it, if they go to if they go to my Instagram profile. Well, there's two ways. Go to my Instagram profile and follow the posts. Like, go to the little bell on top, and that'll do post notifications. So if you're trying to grab it, it'll notify you. And then my mailing list, which is, I think it's still in one of my story highlights on Instagram. I'm trying to build up a nice mailing list so that like I have people that like my stuff who I can reach without Instagram, because Instagram's always screwing with the algorithm, and lately they've been it's been a real pain. So if you can get on that mailing list, I do giveaways through there, and that's like what I'm trying to build up right now. Because Instagram is great, but I really don't like that. I'll be doing well for a while, gaining followers, getting reach, and then for like 2 weeks I don't, and you don't really know what's going on. You have to try to beat the algorithm with them.
Yeah, that's the worst, and especially how you're scrolling through. You know, oh, see this. I hadn't seen this yet, and it says like 3 days ago.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like I feel like if someone follows me, they probably want to see my stuff at least sometime. So Instagram, I would like it if they'd let them see it. You know,
All right, hey Instagram, if you're watching, listen up.
let everyone see the people they follow. They wouldn't follow you if they don't want to see your stuff, but they've
Right?
got their algorithm. So
Yeah, put it back to the old days. But actually,
yeah.
I do notice this doesn't happen with everybody's Instagram. I don't have the phone here in front of me, but if you, and this is even for my followers, our followers, Retro's followers, everybody, if you go, like if you're at your home, when you click the home button on the bottom where it says Instagram up at the top right above your little profile picture, if you click that, it gives you the option to see either your favorites or following. And if you click following, it actually shows you everybody's post only that you're following in timed order. So if I post something right now, you'd see that, and then the next post would be like 2 minutes ago or 3 minutes ago. So you're not seeing things out of order.
They're doing that. I heard they were going to go back to the option.
1 second. Wait,
Sure.
yeah. They are, but you have to. Let me see if I can get this up and open.
Okay.
But you have to click that, like the following thing. So it is a little bit deceiving because not everybody knows that, and it's kind of something that you have to like do, you know. But
yeah, I might start an awareness campaign for that or something. Cause
yeah, we'll make a T-shirt.
Yeah, sing it from the rafters, because I feel like everyone I've ever talked to about Instagram wants to see chronological. They don't like the algorithm, so hopefully we can go back to that more.
Right here. Let's see if it does it on this one though. So it doesn't even do it on this one. That's what I'm saying. Like this phone is old and it doesn't have. I don't know. Some with Instagram is different, but if you click right here, see how it's not doing anything. If you
Yeah.
have like the updated version or whatever, when you click that, it'll pop down an option. So everybody, if you go to that home, boom, and then you click this right here,
Nice.
that will should pop down and say following or favorites. Click following, and you'll see all, even your homies, not even art related, anything like this. All aside, you'll see your
Yeah.
people. You know, whoever you follow.
Yeah.
So that's just a little thing of advice.
Yeah. Thanks for telling me. I didn't know they did that yet. I've heard they were going to, so I'm gonna see
I'm
if I can.
sharing. Yeah, right. I'm sharing that on the Instagram so everybody can see that part.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Cool. So you heard it. The bell. Get the alerted posts, or
Yep.
do that, and you'll see it. Just follow the homie Retro Gimmick is the best way not to miss his stuff first. You know what I mean?
Yes, please.
Okay. What does bootleg art and the bootleg art industry and world mean to you?
What does it mean? Well, now it means like, you know, it's my income at this point, but also it's like, to me, it was a good next step since I've always done action figure collecting and I've always loved action figures as a little kid, as an adult. It's like something that I can bring it in. I like that it brings action figures and art together and like is creating something new with that, because I think I kind of said that earlier, that one of the reasons guys like Sucklord or all the other bootleg guys who started this, they're making action figures into art, which is kind of like what they already are in a way, but I like that people are highlighting that, you know, like these are not just children's toys. Obviously we're grown men who still like them, so they're not like little kid toys you just throw in the trash. You know, they were never, they had like a weird intrinsic value even back in the day. We just didn't know it, so we threw them all away, and now we like, a lot of people pay a shitload of money to get them back, so there must be something to it, you know.
Yeah, no, and as a kid, it's funny because I like those Spawn toys
Yeah.
and Simpsons figures and like, South Park figures. I used to collect like the Kenny like plush dolls and shit back in the day. I remember I used to have a bunch of those and like I used to have like the Street Shark stuff. I actually just recently found, I'll show you like later or something. Dude, it's
Yeah.
a Street Shark ring that's like the paint is perfect. It says like 1995 on it. It's
Yeah.
pretty dope.
Yeah, that's
That
awesome.
was
Little piece of little time capsule, you know.
Mhm. Okay, cool. Um, okay, so I mean, you already pretty much gave people like a ton of advice and pointers, but do you have any advice for new bootleg artists, people trying to get into the industry, or just artists in general?
The only advice I could give is like, just if you want to do it, just start doing it. Like, I mean, if you need pointers, ask people. Ask me if you want. I've I used to have like an email thing I would just send people. Like if someone asked me, how do you do this? I have like an email already typed up. I just copy and paste it, send them to kind of get you started. And then ask other people that you like if you see an artist. I mean, don't, inundate them with questions, but if they're willing to help,
Five questions a day, guys. Five
yeah,
questions a day.
exactly. And just go on see if there's YouTube tutorials, because I did do that too. Like when I started doing bootlegs, I was looking up YouTube tutorials, and that helped. So if you want to do it, just do it. Don't like hesitate. If you don't have the money to start, then just start smaller, and start building up money as you go, and just keep doing it.
Nice, nice. Good advice. Yeah, it's true, man. I mean, obviously, it takes money to make money, but don't let funds hold you back, because you can find people that might be willing to help, let you borrow stuff, get stuff on like Facebook Marketplace cheap. And this is for any art, I think, right?
Yeah.
Like any art. But yeah, so good advice, man. Good advice. Do you do customs?
Like custom commissions, I do. I'm kind of slowing down on them, but I do sometimes do that. Like I try to stay away from them, but then I sometimes, if I've got a little window, I like to do them. So hit me up if you're interested, please.
Hey, and cheers,
It
Glassy.
just might be a while. Yeah.
Hey, but you know what? It's worth the wait. It's good. It's good product right there.
Yeah, that's what I hope. That's what I'm hoping. I try to keep myself really busy, sometimes too busy, but I prefer that to not having work. So
Yeah, for sure. I mean, it's good to stay busy, but you need a little break every now and then.
yeah.
All right, and then for the last question, let's see. Have you ever wanted to make something and then decided not to?
Yeah, there's been a few. Sometimes you'll have like an idea and then it's so close to someone else that you see, or like there's been things where I was about to make and then someone else made like the exact same thing. So you need to at
I
least
don't know,
give a
maybe.
little space to that. You know, it's a gray area depending on how close you get to the other person, but that will get in the way. And then sometimes I thought of ideas and I'm like, that's going to lose me like 1,000 followers. And there's an integrity level with art, but also I need my buyers and followers as well.
It's
Like,
gonna lose me 1,000.
yeah,
I love that.
yeah, it's like I'm not going to alienate people on purpose unless it's like really important. So, because the more eyes on you is always the better. Like you want people to see it, you know. And if they really don't like it, they'll unfollow you. But I don't want to piss people off too much.
Well, I mean, yeah, that's true, but also if you know somebody's gonna unfollow you because they see one thing that might make them not feel the best or like or
Yeah,
whatever, like then maybe that's not the kind of person you would want following you in the first place because you have to expect to
that's
see something crazy you might not agree with if it's from like a bootleg toy artist. What happens if they make
yeah,
fun
yeah.
of your favorite show or
Yeah,
your
they're
favorite
not a quality
food?
follower. They wouldn't you wouldn't call them like a quality follower, I guess, because it's not someone who really likes you if they're gonna ditch you after one thing, you know.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, and if like with some of the shops I work with, I always say like if somebody's gonna come in, you hook them up one time with a little deal. Obviously, they're a good customer. You want to hook somebody up, and then they come back and they like expect you to give them a deal, and if you can't, they get all mad. Like right in
Uh,
front of you, it's like that's not your. It's like yeah, maybe they're a good customer, but it's not your real like. They're not there for you. They're not trying to support your business. They saw they got a good deal once, so now they're gonna expect it every time, and that's not like realistic. You know,
yeah,
it's
and you
not
always
realistic.
no, not at all. And then there's a few people who like consistently support me, and that means the world because they actually really like what I'm doing. And you know, it's not like a I don't want people to view it as much as a product. Like, you know, it's not like going to Walmart, you know. I really like when people like it enough to support and even if you don't buy something, just to like it's always cool to hear like that someone likes it. Like that's worth a lot too.
Like
That
the
someone
story
like
replies, right?
yeah, yeah.
Story replies, reposts, shares,
Oh yeah.
like it's all fucking yeah. It means a lot to yeah, definitely 100%.
Yeah, that's worth its weight in gold. Like if someone reposts you, they're like doing you a huge favor, really. You know?
Yeah, because even if that person isn't gonna buy something and they reshare it, all their people might
Yeah.
buy something. You know, and or
Yeah,
it'll get somebody out of their following. So definitely, man, definitely.
for sure.
That's what we got. We got. Yeah, man. It's been dope having you. I'm really, really thankful you gave us all your time. If
Thank
anybody
you.
else has any, oh yeah, no, bro,
Oh,
thank
yeah.
you. If anybody else has any questions, got like 2 minutes. Put them down.
If anyone has a question, I'll ramble off a long-winded answer. Probably no one left. We'll see.
Oh man, but
Oh,
hey,
someone.
this is going on YouTube too. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention. If anybody is
Oh
still
yeah, yeah.
here, if people missed it, it's gonna be on YouTube. So you can go if you're just getting in late, you can go back and watch this probably like tomorrow and see the whole conversations, a few more other videos. So and I appreciate all the follows. I appreciate everybody coming joining us here. This has been really dope. And again, thank you for your time, man. And I hope that we can the Decon, I think, right? The Decon collab comes out dope. Is it? No,
Oh,
it's not the Designer
oh,
Con,
that
though, right? Comic Con.
Comic Con, yeah,
Yeah,
SDCC
Comic Con collab. My bad. With DKE comes
with
out
DK.
dope. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's one of them.
Nice, man. All right, so, anything else for the people?
No, I can't think of anything. I'm very awkward on video, so but thanks for watching.
Yeah, hell yeah, guys. Catch it on YouTube. Go follow Retro Gimmick. Give us a follow here at Naturals Collective. And if you're anywhere in the Massachusetts
Follow me.
area, yes, 100%. If you're anywhere in the Massachusetts area, we're going to be opening soon. So keep your eye out because we are in Leominster, Massachusetts, central Massachusetts. So much love, everybody. Thank you, Retro.
Thank you.
All right, man. Have a good night. Peace, everybody.
Later.
Peace.
I don't know how to turn off.